Mr. Chase. Hello, Mr. Chase.
Yes, Teacher Fred. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well,
yeah, thank you. You're welcome to this session.
Okay.
Thank you for joining. You can start.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I welcome each and every person on board. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for attending each and every lesson. At this juncture, let me request one of you to pray for us before we can start. Any person, put up your hand. Any person, put up your hand so that you can pray for us. Okay, Muchivi, pray for us.
Let's humble ourselves for the word of God. Oh Lord, our Father, we thank you for giving us this day, Lord. We thank you for enabling us to tell us about this day, Lord. Lord, we have come here before you to thank you for all that you've done for us, Lord. Lord, may you please bless, edify. We thank you for sponsoring this e-learning program, Lord. Lord, may you please bless us as we go through our lesson. Just now I believe and pray. Amen.
Amen. Chivi, thank you so much for that wonderful prayer. So I want to thank each and every person who was able to do our activity of integration. So you may find that 652 learners signed in for the activity of integration, but you could find that only 139 were able to attempt the activity of integration. So you may find that even those ones were graded. So we are going to look at that activity of integration in details. So at this juncture, let me request that I share my screen with you so that at least we see how we are supposed to go about our activity of integration. So you may find that we had some of the things we are supposed to do as regards to that activity of integration so that we can harmonize what was supposed to be done according to the work you people you gave. So before we can proceed, I would like to thank Edify and also Christian Schools Owners Association for such arrangement to ensure that however much you are not at school, but we have lessons going on, and also ICT Teachers Association of Uganda for enabling the program to be implemented. So you could find that what we are going to look at observations for the end of program activity of integration. So AOI stands for activity of integration, because you may find that our second last topic was all about business ideas and business opportunities. That is the topic which we are summing up. So, and the activity of integration was given to you. And you may find that we wanted to look at various aspects in that topic. One of them, that you people, can you be in position to identify different business objectives? That was one of the objectives of such a topic. Then, if you are in position to identify such a business, would you be in position to go and carry out market research after identifying that business? So you also wanted to know that if you have been in position to single out a particular idea, then you come up with a particular business venture. Can you make a market research to see whether actually that business will work out? So you may find that those are some of the objectives which we wanted to look at to ensure that you people, you would be in position to achieve them. So when actually we look at the activity of integration, so basically we are going to look at how we can rectify the errors which were made in the activity of integration. So you may find that some of you did some mistakes, and in one way or the other, those mistakes could not enable you to perform at your best. So we are supposed to ensure that we try our level best to see that in one way or the other, we can be in position to avoid them. Even if you go back at school, such errors, you have to avoid them. Then another one, to identify correct answers for the tasks given in the activity of integration. So we are going to identify which answers we are basically required according to different tasks which we are given. Sorry for that. So errors which were committed in the activity of integration. One of them, most of you didn't complete work. What does it mean? The tasks were two. Task number one was to write a letter advising your friend, that is Mukasa Tom, as regards to the situation or in the area where he could reside. So you were requested to write a letter as task number one, trying to advise him on different business ideas he could come up with, because you may find that the community where he lives, the place is so littered with rubbish. So what you were supposed to do is to help Mukasa Tom to identify those business ideas he can come up with, because throughout the lockdowns we have had, he has been at home without any income generating activity. So you were supposed to give those ideas. Then the second task was all about coming up with a particular business opportunity. After coming up with a particular business opportunity, you were supposed to develop a market survey. Which market survey you had to use once you could go out to gather information from community members to see whether that particular business will be in position to work out. But most of you were able to handle task number one, and you didn't handle task number two. That is the reason why your performance is not good at school. Some tried, but most of you, the performance was not good. Therefore, if you are given tasks, if you are given an activity of integration, make sure that you complete all the tasks which are given to you. Failure to complete all the tasks, it means that in one way or the other, you are not going to pass very well. Yet here, we want each and every person to pass with good scores, good results. Therefore, that is one of the issues which you are supposed to look at when you are to perform very well. Then secondly, some of you submitted in blank documents. What does it mean? you could find someone actually didn't attach anything. Yet we have always been requesting you that if you have any challenge, like submission of work, please go in your class, go in your Google class, so that you can be in position to be assisted how you can submit in your work. But we reached at the extent of doing the activity of integration when some of you up to now, you don't know how to submit in your work. And some decided to submit blank documents. So I'm calling upon you people, please, if you are in a particular arrangement, try your level best to ensure that you work efficiently and effectively so that you don't lag behind. Therefore, that is the reason why even you may find that around 600 learners didn't even attempt the activity of integration. These are some of the issues, because some you may find that they could not be in position submitting work and they could not do that. So I'm requesting that always request for assistance so that you are engaged in the arrangements so well. Then number 3, some of you misunderstood the tasks. So you could find that, as I have told you, task number 1, you were supposed to write a letter, but you could find someone trying to come up with a poster. So you could find that it was a little bit challenging, because if we look at a letter, some of you know what it means when someone talks about a letter. So that is the reason why I was not so specific. Even if someone could bring in a friendly letter or an official letter. So you could find that in one way or the other, I could mark any letter, because there was a challenge of misunderstanding the tasks which were given to you. So some had to design posters, others could just come up with writings. But when you look at task number 1, you were supposed to come up with a letter. Then task number 2, you had to come up with a questionnaire, because previously had given you an assignment to download a questionnaire, fill it, and try to send it when there is some information filled. So, but you could find that some of you didn't attempt the assignment. Therefore, because of dodging an assignment, so it gave a challenge to some of you to handle the questionnaire. So that is the reason why, if you are given assignments, try your level best to do assignments. Therefore, some people who were in position to attempt the assignment were also in position to perform very well. Sarah is asking which class. This is senior 1, and we are having entrepreneurship. Then number 3, number 4, some of you submitted in work as a group, yet it was supposed to be done as an individual. So marks were given to a single person. So some of you, because at home you were working as a group of 3, even 5 members, so you could find that in one way or the other, you had to submit in your work as a single person. Yet you may find that here you register yourself as an individual. So you could find that basically you had to submit in your marks as a single person. At the end of the day, if you submit in as a group, others are not get marks. So you may find that that is the reason why some of you may find that you do not have marks, because your work was submitted in as a group. So when we look at the marking guide for our activity of integration, what was required from you people? Because the task 1 was all about writing a letter. Therefore, you may find that in that letter, we are looking at aspects. We are looking at the aspects. We are looking at the aspects of a letter. Some of the elements which are supposed to be within a letter. Therefore, I could award, I could give you a mark once I could look at some of the items listed below, like an address. So if you write a letter, you are supposed to indicate the address where the person who is writing the letter coming from. You have to indicate. So some were using their schools, I was giving a mark. Some used their villages, addresses for the villages, I was giving a mark. So that one was so important. So when it comes to a letter, you cannot do away with the address. So you could get a mark once you could have the address. Then date. Date is so important. So you may find that for us in entrepreneurship, we look at different business documents. There are letters are part and partial. So a date, if you are requested to write any document, you may find that in one way or the other, a date is so paramount. The same applies to a letter. You cannot write a letter without a date. So any person who could write a letter indicating the date, I was giving that person a mark. Because when you look at all elements of a letter, at least I could give 4 marks if you could come up with any of the elements I'm looking at. Then also I was giving a mark on salutation, because also it is important when you are writing a letter. Then complementary clause as you are winding up. So I could also be in position to give a mark there, because those elements, you may find that they are so important in each and every letter. Then another thing is a frame. So with entrepreneurship, if you are coming up with a letter, you have to draw a frame. You get your pencil or pen, draw a frame as the letter tends to appear on a paper. So you draw your frame properly, automatically you are supposed to get a mark from that frame you have drawn. However, this one brings me to a point that supposed to have a letter on 2 pages. For example, because you are remaining with a slight space on a page, you write half or the first part of the letter, then the second part, you transfer it to the second page. When we are writing documents with entrepreneurship, we do not allow that. I don't know with English, but when it comes to entrepreneurship, the document has to appear on a page. So before I proceed, let me ask members to have something to ask, any question as regards to that before I move on, because I'm now going to part B. This task had 9 marks. So with those 9 marks, 4 of them were supposed to come from the elements of a letter, because you were supposed to write a letter to Mukasa Tom. So put up your hand and try to ask as regards to that first part of a letter. Is there any question before I proceed? or any other input? Any? Okay. I have one person here.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, very fine. What I wanted to ask is that if basically, if I'm giving a specific example on this,
Right, speak up. Right, speak up. Be audible enough.
If I'm giving, let me say a basic letter according to the question you gave us. So if I'm writing to that guy, I have never met him. Should I include the address of his municipality and give him all that respect? Or I should just write him a friendly letter?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Because according to that task, you had met Mukasa Tom, and Mukasa Tom was your friend. So I considered a friendly letter. I considered a friendly letter. However, some had to write an official letter. I was also marking because Rita he has asked for me. I came up with 2 addresses. So I could consider one of the addresses because you may find that the second one, some of you could not write it in the proper way. That is the reason why I decided to go with the address of the person who has wrote the letter. Thank you so much. Another person? Yeah, if you have any challenge, please put up your hand and ask. Yeah, this is senior 1 class. I'm handling entrepreneurship. We are going through the activity of integration, which was done last week. So if you have any challenge, because I'm seeing someone here having a chat that is lost somehow somewhere. Any other question? Any other question? Before can move on. Any other person? Any other person? Please put up your hand, because I want to make sure that each and every person, we are at par as regards what was supposed to be done. Already you received your marks and your performance may not have been so good. So what are some of the challenges you experienced? Okay, so let me proceed. So we look at business ideas. So you may find that in that list, you had to show some of the business ideas which you could at least advise your friend Mukasa to come up with, because he has been at home without any income generating project. So one of the idea, selling dumped plastic bottles to agents of recycling companies. So you may find that some young people in different communities like boys move on place to place, collect the plastic bottles, and they sell them to agents of recycling companies, because a kilogram of plastic bottles is at 500. So in some other places, you may find that the price is slightly above. But what I know, it is not below 500. So Mukasa can venture into that and he can earn a living and some money. Then number 2, selling dumped scrap to agents of recycling companies. Nowadays, you may find that we have different agents of recycling companies who buy scrap, and a kilogram, I think, is around 1,000. So you may find that also that is a business idea which Mukasa Tom can venture into. Therefore, here we wanted to look at your creative ability to see that in a particular situation, you can come up with different business ideas. Then number 3, making charcoal briquettes. Making charcoal briquettes from dried peels of bananas and charcoal dust. You may find that nowadays in our community, because charcoal is expensive, people are coming up with charcoal briquettes, which charcoal briquettes can help you to save some money. At the end of the day, you can even sell them. Nowadays, even they are sold in supermarkets. Only a single one can be bought at 1,000. That is what also a good business idea, which you could as well put in writing and advise Mukasa to carry out such a business. Then another one, selling banana peels to people who rear goats, sheep, and cattle. So you may find that when you look at restaurants in some places, they pack those banana peels and they sell a sack, each sack, which is around 50,000 to people rearing goats, sheep, and cattle. So you may find that also that one as well can act as a business idea, which Mukasa Tom can venture in. Then we have forming fertilizers from organic waste materials. So you could find that also waste materials can be formed into fertilizers, which fertilizers can as well be sold to people carrying out farming. So therefore, you have to ensure that at least a person can venture in also such a business. Then another thing, selling polythene bags, big in size, to agents of recycling companies. So you may find that even people move around collecting those polythene bags, which are large in size. They wash them, they clean them. Afterwards, they sell them to agents of recycling companies. So you may find that in some communities, those agents are there and they are in position to buy them. So rubbish which litters within a community can help someone to have a business idea. Then you may find that also collecting rubbish at a small cost. So you may find that some people are in position to pay a person who may help them to have rubbish from their places, to have them along the road. If you are in town like Mukasa Tom is at Wise, KCC has a company known as Nabugabo Dealers. So if you are in position to have that rubbish taken to those people when they are collecting rubbish, so long as that customer of yours has a receipt, automatically will be in position to pay you some amount of money. Then you take the rubbish at a collection center where those guys from Nabugabo can come and pick that rubbish from there. So it is also a business venture. Then you may find that making crafts from straws, bottle tops, such as mats, door mats, etc. So you could find that also that one can as well work out. So we have seen people making bags from straws. We have seen people making mats from straws. So that one, in one way or the other, can as well assist Mukasa to have something. Those straws. Actually, you may find that there are so many products which can be made from them. Therefore, you may find that it is as well so important if you can collect them, wash them, and ensure that you can be in position to have such things. Then at the end of the day, you can venture into a business idea from rubbish which may litter in community. Members, can you also share with me some of the ideas which I might have left out? Because those ones are around 8. They are around 8. But if you could identify, or if you could come up with only 5 of them, so I could give you 5 marks plus the other 4 coming from the elements of a letter. Then you could score around 9. You could score around 9 because number 1, it was out of 9 marks. Any person who can add on those business ideas? Any person? You put up your hand to supplement. Already I have one. Thank you. Give us a business idea. Because you might have given us a business idea and I had marked it right, but it's not among those ones. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, on the letter, couldn't I write one business idea and I explain it more? Or I had to write everything I can come up, because I wrote one and explained more.
Okay. So you were not supposed to write only one. Why? Because you may find that you had to give various ideas to that person so that you could pick out the best for him. So it is as if you are having one, you are indirectly forcing Mukasa, Tom, to venture in that idea which you have given and you have explained. Do you understand? But we needed around 5 of them, which could enable Mukasa Tom to pick from those. Another person. I'm going to pick at random. Another person. Mercy. Add on those business ideas, because you people, you have to be critical thinkers. You advise people, because even yourself, you may find that you have to think of any idea which can help you to have a source of income. So therefore, we have given you a scenario of Mukasa in an area which is always littered with rubbish. So how can that person come up with a particular business idea to ensure that at least he can venture in a particular project to earn a living? Mercy? 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 Okay, someone is having the hand up.
Teacher, I think Mukasa can collect all the dirty clothes, wash them, and join them to make new ones.
Make what?
I think Mukasa can collect all the dirty clothes from the rubbish, wash them, and join them to make new ones.
Okay, Denise, thank you so much. But you may find that if someone decides to throw a cloth as rubbish, you may find that that cloth is so badly off and cannot
But some
easily be
can
sold.
be new.
Pardon?
Some clothes can be new.
Some can be new, unless the thieves are the ones who had to steal someone and had to throw some of the clothing along the way. But in most cases, it is rare. But I want you to look at the common rubbish. Common what? Rubbish. Yeah, someone is
Rubbish.
Blessing is talking about glass recycling. Glass what? Recycling. Okay, someone also in the work which I was marking came out with the idea of broken glasses, sold out to someone who would like to come up with a fence. Yeah. So you may find that some people may want to have broken glasses to put them on their fences as they are as they are building. So I was marking such an answer. Then also Blessing has been talking about paper recycling. Actually, I had forgotten that one, but it is also right. So someone gave that answer, paper recycling. So we have people who move on collecting actually used papers. Those people take those papers to recycling companies for papers. That is the reason why we have nowadays pampers, we have nowadays even clipboards, boxes. So those boxes come from old papers. And a kilogram, I think it is around 1,000. So you may find that such business also, Mukasa can venture in. Grace, what do you have to share with us? Grace? 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 Aha. Denise is also saying leftovers.
I was just saying what you had just said.
Pardon?
I had the same idea you just had, the one of the papers.
Okay, Grace, thank you so much. Yeah, Denise is also saying leftovers can be sold to farmers who rear, for example, pigs and what have you. Actually, that is a good idea. So you may find that some people have even their containers around restaurants where they can collect such leftovers, which leftovers they even pay for. Then you may find that people, farmers, can be in position to pay such a person once he provides leftovers for their animals. Grace, I still see your hand up. Grace, I see your hand up. You see now people are coming out with those ideas. It is great. Denise, Grace, are you still having something to share with us? Grace? Because I still see your hand up. Grace? 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 Okay, I have another person. I have another person.
Just my answer I had it was mentioned, but I had another one which was electric waste recycling. These guys that collect spoiled electronics like flat irons, spoiled TVs, etc. They can also, if he can get such start, he can also sell such to recycling companies.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's which no longer like DVDs, like batteries. So you may find that we have also to have a earning, you money. Then another one, you can also look at biogas business idea. So whereby waste Yeah, sorry for that. It was because of the network, but thank God I'm back on board. Let me share my screen again so that we can proceed. So thank you so much, members, for such answers you have been giving. Therefore, it means that at least you people now, you are following as regards to what was supposed to be done. Good enough. We have looked at some of the business ideas. So we are still sharing. We are still sharing. We are still sharing. We are still sharing. So we are still sharing those ideas. We are still sharing those ideas. Yeah. Let me request that as well, you give me more ideas. Give me more ideas as we try to, as we are trying to wind up with that part. Give me more ideas. Yeah, Rema, I can see your hands up. Rema, supplement on those ones we have.
Sure, you can.
Rema.
Teacher, you can collect polythene bags and sell them and wash them and sell them back to the recycling companies.
Yeah, so you may find that those looked at those papers once they are collected and taken to agents of recycling companies, they can be in position to pay because a kilogram of papers is at 1 can work out. So you may find that if it's also in position to get old tires, we can have which one can as well. So basically, you may find that papers before they are dumped, it can be in position to make paper bags because we have so many people who have ventured to paper bags, whereby now some people can even produce paper bags to supermarkets. They can even indicate names of supermarkets. So before even those papers are dumped, you can make paper bags. Denise has something. Denise?
Yes, I think Mukasa can also make bracelets out of straws.
Pardon?
I think Mukasa can also make bracelets out of straws.
Can make what?
Bracelets out of straws.
Okay, yeah, that is good. So many products come from straws. Therefore, if you get those straws, you can have so many products which can earn you a living. You find a bag which is almost 40,000, but which is made from straws, and people earn some good money from mats. So you may find that such as well can work out. So thank you so much. Then we can move on to task 2. Task 2, first of all, was requesting for a business opportunity. So before you could come up with a questionnaire, you had to identify which business. Rita, I can see your hand up. Rita, your hand is up. Rita. Okay, let us proceed. So you were supposed to come up with a business opportunity. Then secondly, when it comes now to having a market survey, you were supposed to write the address for the business identified. So if you have your business opportunity, if you have come up with it, at least you have to think about the name. What is the name of your business you have come up with? Try to show PO box. You can give any number, then a location where you feel like your business will be. For example, you can say 82 Mitiana. You understand? When you are within Mitiana. If you want to establish your business within Mitiana, then that one you could get a mark. Then secondly, the title for the document, you have to show that such a questionnaire is known as different questionnaires. We have also what they call a customer survey questionnaire. So you have to be specific. You have come up with. Therefore, if you haven't started a business plan, indicate the title of the document. When we look at the questionnaire, you may find that I have new learners on board. A questionnaire is a research instrument consisting of a series of question correspondence through survey or statistical study. When you are gathering information which consists of series of questions, that is what we call a questionnaire. So some of you whom we have been with some weeks back, we looked at that, but I had to at least try to explain to those ones who might have joined today. Then number 4, body for the document. So you may find that in one way or the other, when I talk about the body, so mark on introduction. Then also you may find that I could as well be in position to give a mark on content. For example, some of the questions which could be a conclusion, because there is a statement which in one way or the other may the series of questions which are asked. Then another thing, a flame. So a flame with entrepreneurship comes to documents, it is so important. So if they ask you any document in entrepreneurship, do not forget to come up with a flame. So you may find that you get your pencil or pen and you have to make sure that it is properly, which are separate from one another. Then you expect a mark. No, draw your proper frame. However much a questionnaire is so much detailed, but make sure that it appears on only one page. Don't extend it to another page. So try your level best to have a summarized document. Like here, a questionnaire should be summarized. It doesn't mean that it is supposed to have all. It is supposed to have all the questions. No, you can single out some questions. Then a person who has prepared it. So any document, you may find that it is so important to show the person who has prepared. Therefore, in this case, because you are the person who has come up with a document, you tell us that I'm so and so was prepared. Then approval, the person who has approved that questionnaire. Because in any business, you have some people whom you may consult or whom may be your boss. So you may find that such people may try to approve your document you in field. Then appreciative message. So you may find that in one way or the other, a questionnaire tends to be with appreciative message, at least for that person who has been in position to fill that questionnaire. You have to show that indeed you have appreciated that person. So you may find that in one way or the other, once you could come up with those elements, 10 of them, you could get 10 marks because the activity of integration was out of 19. There were only 2 tasks. So if you could come up with such elements, you could get your 10 marks. So any question as regards to that second task or any input, because you may say that such a thing is missing, yet I would be in position to have a mark from such an area. Any supplement? Because I'm going to give you a sample of a questionnaire, how it may look like, but we have so many questionnaires. But at this instance, we are going to look at a questionnaire before you can start a business. So if there is no any hand, let me try also to come up with another one. So let me try to show you a questionnaire, a sample of the questionnaire, how it can be. So let me try at least to share with you a particular sample, because some of you didn't attempt the other assignment where I requested you at least to download a particular questionnaire, which questionnaire you people were supposed to present, but let me try that we can have it. Yeah, just wait for just few minutes as I'm trying to have one here. Let me try to see that we can have one here. Okay. So you may find that there is something which is as well affecting us, but I'm trying my level best at least to come up with a sample of a questionnaire, so that as well you people can look at what actually I want to share with you. In a few minutes, we are going to have that one. So that is a questionnaire I'm talking about. Members, can you see that questionnaire? So that is a questionnaire. So you may find that this one is known as a business plan questionnaire, a business plan questionnaire. So you may find that it is more detailed. It is looking at the name of the person whom you are going to interview, the address, city, email. You may find that all those details as regards to the person you are interviewing. So you may find that you can even ask what is the best way to reach you, how you've been positioned to reach that person, the best time to reach that person, the education background, the current occupation of that person. So you may find that is also important. You may find that you can ask even how many hours per week are you working. So it is also important. Then you can as well ask that person in terms of internet. What does it mean? It means that you may like to always pass on the information to that person using the internet. Therefore, you ask whether that person has experience in using the internet. Then, which social media actually that person is well conversant with. Is it Facebook? Is it Facebook, or it is Twitter, or Google? So you may find that such a person has to tell you so that you find the best way how to reach out to that person. So it matters a lot. Then you look at the experience via emails. So you may find that that person may have experience in using the email, or may not have experience in using the email. So it is so important at that level. Then you have also to determine the earning of such a person, to see whether that person will be in position to buy a particular item once you may find that it is provided. So in one way or the other, it is so important to know the earning of such a person. So you may find that in one way or the other, that is a sample of our questionnaire. So that is the appreciating message which I talked about here. They are saying that if there is anything else you would like to share about yourself, please feel free to comment on the second page. So in one way or the other, you may find that that is how a questionnaire is supposed to be. That is a sample of how it is supposed to look. Some of you wouldn't be in position to give such a questionnaire, but you may find that you were asked because some time back we covered about a questionnaire. So any question? Any question as regards to that? So you can put up your hand if you have any question. Joan, ask. Joan, ask.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Mm.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, Joan.
Yeah, teacher, I wanted to ask the corrections of the papers of the exam that we did. Will you send them in the Google Classroom?
Pardon?
I was asking that the corrections of the exams that we did, will you send them in the Google Classroom?
The corrections? Okay, yeah. I will upload the slides for the corrections which we have gone through. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Another person? Another person? Yeah, we are almost winding up. So if there isn't any question, I will take it that, yeah, each and everything is okay. Any question? Any question? Any question as regards to task 2, task 1, as we are winding up? As we are winding up. Okay. Yeah, it seems each and everything is okay. Let me go back to Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Okay, any person to give us a closing prayer? You put up your hand to give us a closing prayer. Rita, give us a closing prayer. Rita.
Ourselves to the word of prayer. Our kind and loving Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you that you've taken us through this correction that you have been doing. Lord, I pray that you enable us to remember each and everything that we have been taught by our teachers, Lord, and we thank you for this program because it has helped us so much in this lockdown. Continue blessing them, bless the work of their hands so that they continue to do good things as they have been doing in this lockdown. I pray all this in the mighty name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Rita, thank you so much. You people, thank you for attending this program.